Hey, be careful, people are behind you.
Right Honorable Benjamin Kalu, my Lord, the Honorable the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Chairman, Board of Governors, Your Excellency, we also have by introducing my Lord, Honorable Justice Mahmoud, who is also here, my Lord Justice Onogen, who is also here, the Koro CFR, who is also here, and my Lord is seated with the Honorable Justice of Supreme Court, and she is accompanied, his lordship is accompanied, serving and retired. They are all here. Your Excellency, as delegates to this conference. As indulged me a bit, we also have the Honorable Minister of the Federal Government. Your Excellency, we also have the bar, which forms the judiciary, as well. We have Dr. Bola Tinubu. Also have, my Lord, in support of Your Excellency, the Comptroller General of the Nigerian Correctional Service, Mr. Sylvester Nidinwakuche, in collaboration with us in the justice sector. They are all seated and are ready for Your Excellency. And to ensure the success of this activity, we have National Judicial Institute, my Lord, to be additional for the welcome effect.
All other protocols are taken care of. Nigeria, Chairman, Board of Governors of the NJI of this address.
The courtroom, not the legal space, remains the lawful forum. The judiciary that fears public opinion more than the dictates of the law ceases to be the guardian of justice. We therefore reaffirm that our fidelity is an invaluable opportunity to reflect, to strategize, and to commit to this conference with inspire meaningful efforts.
Video guy, leave them now. Video guy,
Chief Justice of Nigeria, Chairman, Board of Governors of the National Judicial Institute, His Lordship Honorable Justice K.F.O. K.F.O. UCON, FNJI, former Chief Justice of Nigeria, here present. My Lord, the Chairman, Education Committee of the Board of Governors of the Institute, Honorable Justice John Ian Okoro, CFR, ASC, and Honorable Justices of the Supreme Court here present. My Lord, the President of the Court of Appeal, Honorable Justice M.B. Longman Benson, CFR, Reverend J.I., former President, Court of Appeal, Justices of the Court of Appeal, and Justices of the Court of Appeal, serving and retired here present. My Lords, heads of various courts, judges, and caddies of various jurisdictions here present. The Honorable Attorney General of the Federation in absentia, Prince Latif, Jack on the SCN, FNJI.
Your Excellency, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Tinubu, GCFR. I have a very long list of protocols here, and I'm aware of the time constraints. All other protocols will be observed. It is an immense honor and privilege to welcome you all to the opening ceremony of the 2025 All Nigerian Judges Conference. Today we gather not merely to reflect on our responsibilities as custodians of justice, but to chart a decisive course towards a judiciary that embodies integrity, resilience, and unwavering public confidence. A special and respectful welcome goes to His Excellency, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Tinubu, GCFR. Your Excellency, we are truly grateful for your presence despite your demanding schedule, and we deeply appreciate your abiding commitment to the cause of justice in our dear nation. This conference, convened biennially by the National Judicial Institute, is not just a tradition of necessity. It provides an invaluable platform for introspection, collaboration, and the adoption of strategic resolutions that propel our judiciary forward. Here, brother judges engage meaningfully with one another, strengthen institutional ethics, and reaffirm the enduring commitment to dispense justice with precision, fairness, and accessibility. The theme of this year's conference, Building a Confident Judiciary, will not be more timely. At this pivotal moment in our nation's judicial landscape, we must confront the realities that threaten the very foundation of public trust in our system. The judiciary occupies a unique position as the guardian of democratic stability, and it is upon us to safeguard that trust through principled and impartial adjudication. Challenges are inevitable, but they are not insurmountable. It is no exaggeration to state that the survival of Nigeria's democracy has often hinged on the steadfastness of the judiciary. Our pronouncements at critical junctures in our history have preserved constitutional order and upheld the democratic will of the people. Yet, at this stage, we must go further. Beyond merely defending democracy, we must deepen it by ensuring that justice is not only done, but manifestly seen to be done in every courtroom, across every jurisdiction, and every course. The Nigerian public, our ultimate constituency, expect and deserve nothing less. Their perception of our work is shaped not only by the outcome of cases, but also by the processes we adopt, the pace at which we deliver justice, and the comportment we display as judicial officers. It is no secret that segments of the public, hold a critical perception of the judiciary. There exists a widespread notion that our processes are slow, inefficient, and sometimes vulnerable to external influences. We must confront this perception head-on, not with rhetoric, but with deliberate and demonstrable action that restores confidence in our courts. A judiciary that commands respect must be unwavering in upholding independence, firm in strengthening ethical standards, and resolute in eliminating inefficiencies in court administration. We must address the persistent issues of outdated infrastructure, intellectual complacency, and corruption challenges that have hindered our efficiency and undermined public trust. To build a confident judiciary, we must rise above these obstacles and ensure that justice is dispensed with integrity, impartiality, and transparency. We must also acknowledge a difficult but undeniable truth. The judiciary continues to operate within a democratic framework where financial dependence on the executive persists. Without genuine financial autonomy, judicial independence remains fragile. True independence is the bedrock of justice. Where it is absent, the temple of justice trembles. Independence is not a privilege. It is a moral and constitutional obligation that guarantees fairness and equality before the law. On the persistent issue of corruption, we can no longer afford to regard our institution as beyond scrutiny. We must admit with candor that there are some within our ranks who have undermined the integrity of the bench. This must change. The National Judicial Council is being strengthened and repositioned to execute its constitutional mandate with greater vigor, efficiency, and accountability. We must be the example we seek to inspire. The robe we wear must never be a cloak for impropriety, but a symbol of incorruptible honor. With collective will, renewed commitment, and divine guidance, we shall succeed in restoring the dignity of our noble profession. In recent times, there has been an unsettling trend.
Do you have mic for the president? You are for the president.
Over their decisions,
is there?
Or at times to preempt the outcome of the case, often without a proper understanding.
Protocols observed before I don't want to resurrect Latif Jakande. It is with profound, deep sense of honor and deep respect that I address you this morning at the opening ceremony of the 2025 All Nigerian Judges Conference of the Superior Courts. The assembly is not merely a biennial tradition. It is an extraordinary convocation of men and women upon whose wisdom, courage, and integrity rests the stability of our democracy. The protection of our Constitution, the preservation of the rights and liberty of every Nigerian. You are the one. Whenever Nigeria has faced moments of uncertainty, history has recorded that the judiciary stood firm as the stabilizing force of our national life. It is through the courage of the judges and their judicial pronouncements
that tyranny has been restrained, constitutional order preserved, and the voice of justice amplified above the noise of division and despair. For this enduring role, I extend on behalf of the government and the good people of our country our deepest gratitude and abiding respect. The theme of this year's conference, Building a Confident Judiciary, could not be more fitting. Confidence is the lifeblood of justice. A judgment may be grounded in law and delivered with clarity, but unless the public perceive it to be fair, impartial, and untainted, its moral authority is diminished. The confidence of the people is therefore not an abstract aspiration. It is a living measure of the judiciary's legitimacy and the true currency of justice. We must acknowledge with candor that public perception of the judicial process has not always been favorable. Citizens have expressed frustration at delays, concerns about integrity, and anxiety over access to justice. These perceptions, whether wholly justified or not, cannot be ignored. They call upon us to reflect, to reform, and to restore. For ultimately, justice does not exist for the bench or the bar. It exists for the people. Their faith in judicial process is the foundation of our national stability. In this regard, I wish to reaffirm with the clarity and conviction the unwavering commitment of my administration to support the judiciary in fulfilling its constitutional mandate. The judiciary does not exist in isolation. It functions within a larger democratic framework which all three arms of government must work in synergy with the mutual respect and shared responsibility to the Nigerian people. The executive, the legislature, and the judiciary must remain united by purpose, even when separated by function. My administration believes that a judiciary that is strong in capacity, efficient in process, and uncompromising in integrity is not merely desirable, it is indispensable to the survival of our democracy and prosperity of our nation. We cannot build a just society without a fearless and functional judiciary. In this spirit, we have resolved to provide institutional and material support that will enable our courts to perform their duties with dignity, confidence, and efficiency. Support must be tangible, not ceremonial, and I mean it. It must translate into improved working conditions, modern infrastructure, and well-equipped courtrooms where justice is dispensed promptly and transparently. Our court must no longer be places where cases languished for years. They must become beacons of efficiency, where disputes are resolved swiftly and where litigants depart with renewed confidence in the rule of law. The modernization of judicial infrastructure remains a central priority. Technology is no longer a luxury, it is a necessity. The digitization of our court process, the adoption of integrated cases management system, and the provision of secured and reliable judicial facilities will receive sustained attention from this administration. A digital, transparent judiciary will not only improve efficiency, but also deepen accountability and public trust. We should not leave any of our courts behind in this transformation. Yet, bricks and mortar, or even digital screens, do not make justice. The true strength of the judiciary lies in the men and women who interpret the law and give life to its spirit. Our judges are the living custodian of justice. The caliber of their work defines the moral strength of the Republic. This is why judicial welfare, training, and independence are not privileges, they are imperatives. We will continue to support the National Judicial Institute as the leading hub for judicial education, comparative study, and professional development. Continuous learning and intellectual renewal must remain the hallmark of the bench. The law evolves daily, and so too must those who interpret and apply it. We must ensure that our judges are not only equipped to interpret the law in contemporary times, but also empowered to shape it in accordance with constitutional values. However, let us be clear, no amount of reform can succeed if integrity is compromised. Justice must never be for sale. The bench must never become a sanctuary for compromise. Corruption in any form or any arm of government weakens the nation, but corruption in judiciary destroys it to the core. When justice is compromised, government loses its integrity and democracy loses its foundation. With utmost seriousness, my administration stands ready to support every effort by the judiciary to preserve its dignity and eliminate misconduct. This is not a task for the National Judicial Council alone. It is a collective duty that rests on every judicial officer. Discipline within the judiciary must be firm, transparent, and consistent. Only a judiciary that cleanses itself can command the moral authority to cleanse our society. My lords, as you deliberate in the coming days, I want you to remember that the judiciary is not an end in itself. It is an instrument of justice of the people. Its moral power flows merely from the Constitution, but from the trust and confidence that ordinary citizens repose in it. A courageous, transparent, and principled judiciary is the greatest guarantee of freedom. A slow, compromised, or disconnected judiciary is its greatest threat. This is why I urge you, in your discussions, to be bold and practical. Go beyond agonizing old challenges and commit to actionable solutions. Ask the difficult questions on how we reduce the backlog of cases. How do we strengthen discipline within the ranks? How do we make justice more affordable and accessible to the poor, the weak, and the voiceless? Above all, how do we build a judiciary that truly remains the last hope of the common man? Distinguished judges, respected delegates, I see before me not just interpreters of the law, but guardians of Nigeria's moral conscience and architects. You are the architects of our democratic destiny. You hold in your hands the power to shape the moral compass of our republic, to ensure that no citizen is too weak to be heard and no authority is too powerful to be restrained by law. The task is weighty, but it's noble. And I assure you that this administration will continue to stand by you, listen to you, and support you in fulfilling this sacred responsibility. Let me conclude by reminding us that the story of our democracy is still being written. Each fair judgment strengthened the republic. Each courageous ruling preserved its soul. Let us therefore resolve that the chapter written in our time will be remembered for integrity, courage, and fidelity to the rule of law. It is my honor, therefore, and a great privilege to declare open the 2025 All Nigerian Judges Conference of the Superior Courts. May your deliberation be fruitful, your resolutions transformative, and may the judiciary of Nigeria continue to stand at the conscience of our nation and the guardians of our democracy. May God bless the Nigerian judiciary, and may God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. God bless you all.